Today's Ask Me Anything goes out to Linda Bellwood, who kind of has a long question here, so I know you know your question list. I'm going to answer it in a different way. Basically, you have a 7-month-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier puppy, 13 kilos. You also have a 6-year-old Border Terrier, female. The Border Terrier is a handful on leash. The puppy is going to puppy classes. She's generally submissive to other dogs, but barks loudly on first meeting. How best to deal with it? And you go into it that she's good in class, but when she sees other dogs, it's a problem. If she's off leash, she does it with cows in the field and all that stuff. There's conflicting of how would I deal with it. So simply, from what you're explaining to me here, the dog has an incredible amount of prey drive, and the prey drive is what's getting the dog in trouble. So if you recall the dog stops barking, but the dog is still going to do the barking when she's away from you. So the way we stop that prey drive, just like a border collie or anything like that, we teach the dog a down, a remote down. So the dog understands that when they're far away from me, they have to lay down, and on a down, they're not allowed to bark. So a down or a sit, but the down is much more submissive. So I would teach the dog a remote down, a down at a distance, and if your son is walking this dog off leash and it's not that well trained, I'd really suggest keeping it on leash because you're going to have an issue with it. But I'm not going to get into that. Essentially, the biggest thing is going to be a remote down. Start to teach the dog a down. Next to you, if the dog barks, dog gets correction. Dog's not allowed to bark on a down. A down means shut up and lay down. Sorry to be that blunt, but that's really what it means. So that if the dog is barking at something else, you tell the dog down at a distance, of whether it's 10 feet or 100 yards, the dog will lay down, and at that point, the dog is not allowed to bark. If we teach the dog that at a short distance right next to us, then at 3 yards and 10 yards and 100 yards, it all kind of complies to the dog that lay down, it's quiet, it's just chill out, it's a calm time. You're dealing with prey drive, it's a lot of work. A Bull Terrier, I think that's what you said, a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, high drive dog. Get the dog focused, get the dog good obedience. Got a question? Ask me anything.